Sorry. Can you remember me the topic, Grace?
The last class we
Narrative tenses.
learned to narrative tenses, for example, past simple, past perfect, and past continuous.
Exactly. We were talking or discussing about these narrative tenses. Thank you, guys. And in the narrative tenses, or we use these narrative tenses, remember, when we want to tell a story, or maybe when we want to talk about an anecdote or something that happened in the past. So last class we were discussing, or we were talking about these narrative tenses. Thank you, guys. And as Grace told me, inside, or we're going to use as narrative tenses the simple past. Give me a second, I need to accept to the rest of your classmates. So with these narrative tenses, we saw the simple past, or we were remembering the simple past. And also we were remembering past continuous, right? So simple past, continuous, and also past perfect tense, right? So these three were the tenses that we were going to use in order to tell a story, or maybe to narrate an anecdote or anything that happened in the past. Don't forget, guys, that we, let me write it over here. We use it to talk or to tell a story. Also to tell anecdotes. Or maybe to talk about past actions, right? I told you last class that we can mix, right? We can mix between these past tenses. But what happened with present tenses? ¿Qué pasa con los tiempos presentes? Can we mix past with present? ¿Se acuerdan? ¿Podíamos mezclar el pasado y el presente?
No, teacher, no se puede.
No, teacher.
No, we can't mix, right? Do not mix. Past tenses with present tenses. When you're telling a story or an anecdote or anything. Okay, so don't forget about this. We're going to use these narrative tenses anytime we want to talk about the story or something that happened previously. And something very important is that we can mix past tenses. Sí, podemos mezclar los tiempos pasados, pero no podemos mezclar con los tiempos presentes. Something we can use in order to join past sentences, like these three over here, are some words such as, while, and when. Don't forget about this also. Sí, podemos nosotros mezclar los tiempos pasados con estas palabritas que tenemos aquí. As, while o when. Esas nos pueden servir como linkers o conectores entre ambos tiempos, ¿no? Por ejemplo, recuerden que teníamos el past perfect que nos permitía a nosotros hablar de algo que sucedió, ¿no? Algo que queríamos complementar a nuestra historia que sucedió antes de nuestra historia. Entonces podemos ir ocupando estos tiempos utilizando conectores como as, while o when. Okay, that was most of our last class, narrative tenses. And today we're moving to lesson 3B. Let me share with you something I have prepared for you. Let me look for the page. Okay. You're going to see, we're going to play a family game, a family memory game. What are you going to do, guys? You're going to see on your screen some items, some pictures with some names, okay? Pay attention to the pictures because you will have to remember later, okay? So try to remember. Does anyone want to say something, Leslie, maybe?
Teacher, lo que pasa es que tengo que salir de urgencia. Entonces, no, o sea, me demoró una hora y media. ¿Me puede dar permiso, por favor?
Ok, si tienes algo con que justificar, yes.
Gracias, teacher.
I was telling you guys that you're going to remember all the pictures you're going to see on the screen, okay? You're going to see 7 pictures and you will have to remember. The pictures are with some names under the pictures. Remember the picture and the name. So later when we need it, you're going to tell me all the pictures that you saw as a family memory game in this case, okay? So let's start. Let's see if you got what you have to do. Vivi, ¿qué tenemos que hacer? What do we have to do?
We have described the picture, the family memory.
Tenemos que recordar, ¿no? Recordar las imágenes que van a ver. Okay, let me see. Let's start, guys. Pay attention and try to remember all the pictures you see on the screen, okay? Let's start. Remember the 7 items, the 7 pictures you're going to see. The pictures run very fast. Try to remember all of them. Okay, those were all the pictures. Now, can you guys tell me what pictures did you see?
Mother,
Okay,
Cousin,
mother,
dog,
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 Family.
cat,
family,
aunt,
uncle,
cat,
uncle, cat. Una nos falta, come on. And. Excellent, excellent work. Thank you, guys. Let's do this again. For a second time, let's see how good are you with memory. As we have a lot of students, it's easier, but just for one person, it's kind of tricky. Let's see. Okay, those were the 7 pictures. Let's see if you can remember them.
Grandfather,
Mother.
brother,
aunt,
Mother.
dog,
dog,
family,
Family,
brother,
aunt, yeah,
brother.
somebody else said brother. Excellent, guys. So you did an awesome job. You remember 2 of 3. Let's do it a last time. Vamos a hacer la última vez. Let's see. How good are you with these memory cards? Last time. Okay, those were the 7 pictures. Let's see if you can help me with all the 7 pictures again.
Mother,
Cousin,
father,
grandfather, cousin,
dog,
brother, grandfather,
dog,
Dog.
grandfather,
Grandfather.
father.
Okay, we have 4.
Uncle,
Uncle, let's see, okay. One more.
Brother.
Brother. Oh, time's up, but yes, I think it was brother. Thank you, guys. So now you know what the topic or what today's topic it's going to be about, right? Remember that in this unit, we're going to talk about relationships. The first relationships we saw were a kind of friendship and so on, but today we're going to make a small review of family. Okay, so let's see. You're going to watch some pictures now, and you're going to help me matching with some sentences. So I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to share with you the screen of my computer so everybody can see the pictures and also the pictures and the sentences. So give me a second. There you go. You should be seeing now your book. You should be seeing the book. And as you can see here, we have some pictures, some people on the screen, and we have some sentences. So first, let's read the sentences so we know who are we going to or who are we looking for. Okay, so help me please reading these sentences. Let me ask you to help me reading this one. So can you please help me reading sentence number 1, please, Wendy?
yes, teacher. I haven't got any brothers or sisters, so I am only child.
Exactly. So I am only child. Aquí tenemos una palabra in bold, ¿no? En negritas. What's the meaning of only child?
Hijo único.
Exactly. Only child sería el hijo único, ¿no? Cuando solo hay un hito en la familia. Let's continue with number 2. Angie, can you help me reading number 2, please?
Okay, teacher. My brother has got some tower, so I have gone and play on nights. They are twins. No sé cómo se pronuncia.
They are twins.
Twins. Thank you, teacher.
So, what would be the meaning of the 2 words we have there in bold? ¿Cómo o qué significan las palabras que tenemos en negritas? Tenemos nephew, niece.
Sobrino y sobrina.
Exacto. Exacto. Thank you, Asu. Thank you, Grace. Nephew and niece. Nephew sería el sobrino y niece sería sobrina. But what happens with this word? What's the meaning of this? Does anybody know?
Gemelos.
Exactly. Twins are gemelos, no? Twins significa gemelos. This word twins. So let's move to number 3, please, Asu. Can you help me reading number 3?
All right, number 3. Judy was born a year before me. So I got an older sister.
June was born a year before me. Si Judy nació un año antes que yo. So I got, ¿qué será la palabrita en negritas?
Hermana mayor.
Hermana mayor.
An older sister would be la hermana mayor. Let's continue. Joanna Delgado, can you help me reading number 4, please?
Yes. And my brother is 2 years older and my sister in 3 years younger. And I am the middle child in our family.
Middle child. I'm the middle child in our family. So what's the meaning of this middle child?
El hijo del medio.
El hijo del medio, yes, exactly. Sería el hijo del medio cuando en la familia tenemos 3 hijos, ¿no? O cualquier número que sea impar y que podemos tener un hijo en el medio. So that would be the meaning of middle child, el hijo del medio. Let's continue or let's move to sentence number 5. Please, Robert, can you help me reading number 5?
Yes,
Okay, thank
I
you.
have got 5 brothers and sisters who are all younger than I am. I am the older child in the family.
Exactly, thank you. I am the oldest child in the family. So what's the meaning of oldest child?
Hermano mayor. Hijo mayor.
El más viejo.
Exacto, no tiene es diferente al older sister. Oldest child sería como que el mayor de todos, ¿sí? Cuando estamos haciendo una comparación con algunos miembros de la familia, the oldest siempre se refiere como que al mayor, al más viejo, ¿no? In this case, we have, I'm the oldest child in the family. Soy el mayor o el más viejo de la familia. ¿Por qué? Porque estamos hablando de 5 brothers and sisters, 5 hermanos y hermanas. Entonces, de los 5, él sería el mayor. I'm the oldest. Let's continue with number 6. Please, can you help me reading number 6? Carlita.
My family lives in Malta until I was 12 years old, so I spent all my childhood there.
Exactly. I spent all my childhood there. So, what would be the meaning of childhood?
Infancia.
Exacto, nos referimos a la infancia o a la niñez, ¿no? So, childhood would be infancia o niñez. Viví con mi familia en Malta hasta los 12 años. Entonces, yo pasé ahí toda mi niñez o toda mi infancia. Thank you, guys. Let's continue with number 7. Can you help me with number 7, please, Christian?
Yes, teacher. Elena has given up work to stay at home and raise her young children.
Thank you. So Elena has given up work and stay at home and raise her young children. What's the meaning of this verb rise?
Criar.
Perfect. Se refiere a la acción de criar a personas, ¿no? So, aquí nos dice, Elena decidió renunciar al trabajo para quedarse en casa y criar a su hijo más joven, ¿no? A su último hijo. So, let's continue with the last sentence. We have sentence number 8. Please, Carlos, can you help me reading the last sentence, please?
I've just become a grandmother, so there are now 3 generations in our family.
Yes, I've just become a grandmother, so there are 3 generations in our family. This word, I don't think it's very new or different because the meaning is very similar in Spanish too. Generations would mean the same in Spanish, right? Las generaciones. En este caso dice, ahora hay 3 generaciones en nuestra familia. So now that you know and you have remembered the meaning of some of these words, you can help me matching with the pictures. For example, you're going to see some other pictures, because if you see just these ones, you're not going to get the whole answers, okay? So let me make the screen a little bit smaller and you can catch all the pictures. Look at this. We have different pictures, right? A lot of different pictures. So let's do it by parts because otherwise it's going to be impossible to mix. Let me share with you the presentation, I guess. So here you have, I hope everybody is watching. Yes, everybody's watching the presentation. So we're going to start matching. We're going to match first these 4 pictures. Picture number or letter A, the first one. Where would you match it, or with which sentence would you match it?
Number 4.
Number 4, I'm the middle child. Okay, it could be. Yes, let me write in number 4. Letter A, let's see. What about letter B?
Letter 7. Number 7.
Number 7, okay, we can see. Yes, she is raising her young children. Está cuidando de sus hijos más pequeñitos, ¿no? And she's at home. What about this guy with the 2 kids?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, they seem to be twins, right? Están igualitos esos niños. Oh, they seem to be twins. Let's continue with the last one. Which one do you think it is?
Number 8.
Yes, number 8. We have a grandmother there, right? Ahí ya tenemos a una grandmother. So, thank you. You helped me with these ones. And I'm going to change to the next page so you can help me with the other ones, okay? So, let's see the next pictures. Vamos a ver cómo están las siguientes imágenes. Just let me move the answers. Okay. What about the guy with the green t-shirt?
Number 6.
Number 6, let's see. Oh, it's when he lived in Malta, no? When he was a child, yes. It's letter E. So what about the next one? We have 2 brothers there.
Number 3. 3.
Okay, number 3. Judy seems to be older, right? Se ve más grande la chica en ese caso. So she is the older sister. Thank you. What about the Asian family?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1, exactly. He's the only child, right? There are no more kids in that house. And the last one.
Number 5.
Yes,
Number
remember
5.
that we were talking about a big family with 5 family members, 5 brothers and sisters. So look at this. This is a big family. Thank you, guys. So don't forget about these words. Sometimes we have some other words when we want to talk about our family. Algunas de estas palabras nos van a servir mucho al momento de hablar de nuestra familia. Especially when you want to describe the family or any family. So guys, let's continue with the next. The next activity we're going to do is, we're going to see, and okay, you're going to help me and you're going to watch a picture and you will try to guess what is going to be the listening about. So here we have some pictures about a word that we were discussing previously. ¿Sí se acuerdan de una palabrita que estuvimos viendo antes? Twins, right? The twins. So guys, I ask you, to anybody, do you know any twins? Maybe do you have twins in your family? Or friends who have a twin? Does anybody know a twin? No? Nobody knows any twin? Well, in another course, I have a twin, a group of twin sisters. So I know that they are twins because once they had a presentation about family and they had to use the picture. So I saw that she had a twin sister. Imagine that. I will never know which one was the one going to my classes because they were always changing places and so on. So it's not so common to have twins in our country. In some other places it's more common, but here it's not so common to see twins, no? No es tan común ver gemelos. It can happen, but it's not so common. So anyway, if you haven't or if you don't know any twins, you can tell me what do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of having a twin? What do you think can be the advantages? ¿Cuáles creen que serían las ventajas de tener un gemelo? Any advantage? No. ¿Qué ventajas creen ustedes que tienen?
They always have a friend or you can wear the same clothes.
You can share the clothes, right? You can share. They can share clothes. What else?
They can went to the same high school and level.
Yes, they are going to be classmates, no? They can go to the same places. To the same school maybe, or to the same places. Yes, that can happen. They can also be classmates. What else? What's another advantage of being or having a twin?
They learn to be more sociable from an early age.
Okay, they tend to be more sociable of a younger age, yes. Let me write, yeah. What happened with roles? Okay, let's find out one more advantage and then we move to disadvantages, okay? One more advantage of having a twin.
They can to change place and exam.
Yes, they can change places, right? Yes, they can. They usually tend to do that. They change places all the time. So if they don't want to do something, the other one goes, right? And they took advantage of their similarity, the physical similarities. So they change places. Thank you. What would be a disadvantage instead of having a twin? ¿Cuál creen que es la desventaja?
Can confuse the people.
They can confuse people, or people get confused when they see them. They don't recognize them, right? Confuse, yes.
They are difficult to address.
¿Qué nos referimos con address?
Pues ya lo que se pueden, son difíciles de diferenciar con otra gente, o algo así.
It's difficult to recognize them, right? It's difficult to recognize them. Difícil reconocer a cada uno de quién es quién, ¿no? What else?
For parents, it's a double expensive.
Yes, double expenses. Economically talking, yes, double expenses for parents. So it's very hard work with two kids at the same time. Everything's double. Todo es el doble. Con twins. What else?
El parto.
Oh, yes. The birth. Yes, definitely. Poor mom, right? Pobre mamá tiene que sufrir dos veces al mismo tiempo. What else?
Maybe it's more work.
Yes, double work. Double work. We have to double the effort.
They can play back jokes.
Yes, they sometimes play bad jokes on people, right? They play some bad jokes. For example, they can change boyfriends or girlfriends, right? Pueden cambiar pueden cambiar e ir con los novios equivocados si no se dan cuenta. O si quieren jugar unas malas bromas, ¿no? Play a bad joke. Yes, they can change places and play some bad jokes. Any other disadvantage? So we have more disadvantages than advantages. you're going to listen, guys. You're going to listen to a conversation between twins. But before we do so, you're going to watch a video. We're going to watch a video with some interesting facts about twins, okay? So let's see if we know everything about twins. Vamos a ver qué tan buenos son con el tema de los gemelos. Because you're going to see some, you're going to see a short video about interesting facts on twins, okay? So let's see, let me share. Vamos a ver unos hechos, unos datos interesantes sobre los gemelos. Let's see if you know or if you heard about them before. Vamos a ver si ya escucharon o ya habían oído sobre estos datos antes. Let me share the screen with you so you can also see the video. Okay. Here we are. Sorry, let me just share the sound of my computer and then we go. So you're going to see some twins and we're going to read or we're going to see some interesting facts about twins. So let's see. Pay attention, guys.
Our questions? I'll let you read yours. Let me read mine. Can we share them? No.
The New York Times reported in 2012 that 1 in 30 babies born in the U.S. was a twin.
It's pretty high. That seems higher than I thought.
This is just twins. That's not identical.
So look at this. In a research in the U.S., uno de cada 30 bebés era gemelos o nacían gemelos, no, uno de cada 30. So these guys think that is a high number. Suena como un número alto, but it could be more, right? Because having twins is not so common. No es tan común the twins or to have twins, right? Let's listen to.
That seems higher than I thought.
This is just twins. That's not identical.
Okay, so yeah,
we're good.
We're more unique.
A 2006 study by Gary Steinman, a PhD, found that taller women are more likely to have twins.
This is also an interesting fact, right? Look at this. In this study in 2006, this doctor found that taller women are more likely to have twins. What do you think? Would this be true or false? ¿Qué creen ustedes? ¿Será verdadero o falso? Taller women are more likely to have twins.
False.
False, right? Si fuese así, en Ecuador no habrían gemelos because we are not so tall, right? Like women are not so tall here in Ecuador. So let's see what these twins say.
Our mom's pretty short. She's pretty short.
My mom's like 5 feet tall, so that just doesn't work.
I hope we're not like considered tall. I don't want to have twins.
Maybe it allows for more space in the uterus.
In 2011, researchers in Italy proved.
So as you heard, they said that it's false because most of the moms in these cases of these twins are short. No, my mom is short, they say. So let's listen to fact number 3. Vamos a ver la curiosidad número 3.
Proved via 3D video that twins begin to interact with each other in the womb as early as 14 weeks.
We definitely did.
You think?
Oh my God, I feel like we came in like this.
Yeah.
What did we talk about when we were in the womb?
Do you think we were like in a little bubble and we're like reaching out to each other like that?
Whenever we fall asleep, it's in like the same
Yeah, we just
position.
go into like
womb position. That's gotta be. We definitely were interacting.
Yeah.
Now here it says that most of the twins interact inside the mother's womb when they are about 14 weeks on pregnancy, on their mom's pregnancy period. So that's why they are so close, right? Por eso es que se cree que son tan unidos los twins, porque empiezan a interactuar con su hermanito desde que están dentro del vientre, ¿no? Empiezan a tener cierta interacción juntos, a moverse igual, a abrazarse, a estar jugando dentro del vientre, ¿no? So that's what the study revealed. So let's see the next fact. Let's see.
We definitely were interacting.
Yeah. Roughly
Fact
40%
number
of twins invent their own languages spoken only amongst themselves.
That seems about true. We have our own language, definitely.
A few words.
There's a few words.
But you remember specifically that one time we were in the ocean on vacation? We were like speaking like gibberish, and this woman came up to us and asked us where we were from. She's like, "Where are you from?"
I do remember
And we're like,
that.
"Oh no, we're just not saying anything."
We'd like start talking to each other, we'd be like not even saying anything.
There's a few words.
It's more like a vocabulary sheet rather than a language. The other word in our language is blie, spelled B-L-H-R-I-E, and it's a social outcast. It's mainly just become a nickname for our dad now.
Identical twins do.
So as you heard, most of the twins have their own language. They communicate or they know what the other wants to say without even they saying the things. So they have like a stronger relation. Let's continue with fact number 5. Identical twins do not have the same fingerprints. Did you know that? Even though they look the same, their fingerprints are going to be totally different.
Not have the exact same fingerprints. We knew that.
Although they have nearly identical DNA, fingerprint patterns are not based on DNA alone.
So we can't do crimes for each other.
As long as we wear gloves, if we're ever going to kill anyone, we'd be fine.
A UK study from 2005 found that dressing twins in the same clothes could cause stigma and social isolation from the twins' peers.
Like we're wearing the same thing now.
Are we antisocial?
Like a little bit.
We like switched schools in 4th grade, and my mom dressed us exactly alike, and the kids like went nuts. So we made all of our friends based off of that.
We didn't want to look identical at all.
Not at all.
Twins are less likely than non-twins to get married. That feels true.
Some interpret these findings to mean that since they were raised with a partner of sorts, twins have less desire to be married.
So many of our friends have said this to us.
Look at this. So before they were saying that dressing the twins in the same way can cause social stigma, right? They probably are going to feel isolated. Si se tiende y es lo más común, ¿no? Ver a los gemelos vestidos igualitos, pero puede generar un cierto tipo de rechazo en los niños, ¿no? Que les ven a los dos iguales, no se quieren acercar, les da miedo, tienen miedo de equivocarse. Entonces empieza a haber ese estigma, se puede decir. That's why they tend to get their own personality and try to differentiate from each other. Sí, en algunos casos no les gusta verse tan igual, sino que más bien trabajan en verse totalmente diferentes los gemelos. Also, we have here, this is very interesting. I don't know if you have heard, but twins have less desire to be married. Did you know that? Tienen menos ganas o menos intención de casarse. Look at this.
Because it's like, you're my
soulmate. Right, I know. Like, you're my number one.
My boyfriend will be like, "Oh, you're my favorite person." I'll be like, "Oh, you're my second favorite person."
I also always envisioned that when I buy a house, it would be with Benny.
You're just so used to, like, you feel like you've been in a relationship your entire life.
You really do.
I just don't want to get married because I don't want to get married. But I also have Benny, so it's okay.
It's possible for a woman.
So as you see, the relationship they got or they built between each other is so strong that they don't consider to have another member or someone else besides their brother or sister twin. So let's check fact number 8. If it's possible for a woman to have fraternal twins with different fathers. Did you know that? Do you think it's possible to have twins with different parents, with different fathers? Look at this. Even though it seems very, very weird, it can happen. It says that 2% of fraternal twins would have different dads. It can happen. Puede haber hermanos gemelos de diferentes padres. Es muy extraño, pero sí puede darse el caso. Let's see what they have to say.
women to have fraternal twins with different fathers. Some research suggests as many as 2% of fraternal twins could have different dads. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, totally.
Sperm can stay alive for up to 5 days after sex under the right conditions. If a woman releases 2 eggs rather than the usual one, and if she has sex with more than one man within a 5-day window, it's possible that sperm from different men can fertilize each egg.
That is the weirdest thing ever. That's gotta be more fun to explain than when someone's like, oh, are you a twin? You're like, yeah, I am. Let me tell you.
We're also half siblings. Yeah. That's like a riddle.
Do you feel like you learned anything? I feel like I learned a lot. I mean, like some of them were kind of like shocking, some we knew.
I learned so much about twins. I just sort of knew who I was, and now I know so many more things about twins all over the world.
I feel like a lot of these were really interesting.
Don't mess with twins.
Yeah, the
especially
DNA.
identical twins.
The murders.
I learned a little bit more about twins, but I'm not leaving here totally aghast.
You're not wowed by twins?
I love twins. Me too.
So guys, you heard some interesting facts about twins. Did you know all of the facts that were presented on the video? ¿Ya conocían todos los hechos que hablamos sobre los gemelos? Have you heard about that? Anyway, guys, for example, there are some interesting facts about twins that some people don't know. For example, I didn't know that they aren't so likely to get married, for example, or to get engaged with someone because they have a very, very strong bond with each other, right? Tienen un lazo tan fuerte que no piensan en comprometerse con alguien más. So now that you heard some interesting facts about twins, it's time for us to listen a short record about Charlotte and Megan. Guess what? They are twins. So you're going to listen to a conversation now between 2 ladies who are twins, and you're going to, or you will try to answer some of the questions. Here we have some questions, and you're going to listen carefully so you can help me with the answers, okay? First, we have Charlotte, and she is going to talk a little bit about her childhood and her teenager ages, and also what is she or how is her relationship with her sister now. So we will have to answer these 3 questions about Charlotte. Okay, what were the twins like when they were children? ¿Cómo eran ellas de niñas? Okay, when they were children. What changed in their relationship when they were teenagers? ¿Sí? ¿Cómo cambió su relación cuando se hicieron adolescentes? How or what changed? ¿Qué fue lo que cambió? And what's their relationship like now? ¿Cómo se llevan ahora? Sí, entonces vamos a hablar del pasado, de la niñez, when they were children. What changed when they were teenagers, and what is their relationship now? And the same we're going to answer from Megan. So first, we're going to listen, then you're going to help me with the answers. Let's see if you got the exercise. So can you please help me? Tupac, what do we have to do now?
Yes, teacher.
What do we have to do? ¿Qué vamos a hacer ahora?
Listen the audio, complete the sentence.
And answer the questions, yes. Thank you, Tupac. So let's listen, guys. Pay attention, be careful. We're going to listen first Charlotte's part so we don't get confused, okay? So let's start with Charlotte.
Track 1.45. Charlotte. When people find out I'm a twin, they generally ask the same questions. What's it like? Can you read each other's thoughts? Can people tell you apart? Do you do everything together? It's true that I often know what Megan is thinking or feeling, but that's because we grew up together and we're very close. We're no different from ordinary sisters. But if you look at photos of us when we were younger, even I can't say which one is me. We used to look absolutely identical. And Mum says we didn't used to talk much when we were playing together. We seemed to know what each other was thinking. I guess as we grew up, we wanted to create our own unique identities. I remember at school, Megan used to dress as differently from me as she could. I went through a phase of wearing lots of black and looking quite messy. So, of course, Megan started wearing flowery dresses. We used to have a lot of arguments as teenagers, but now we're really good friends. We usually speak on the phone 2 or 3 times a day, and we get together as often as we can. So, what's it like to have a twin? It's great. You have a best friend for life.
Okay, this was the first part of the record. You're going to listen once again, and we're going to pause it after each question, okay? So let's listen again and try to catch the first answer. What were the twins like when they were children, okay?
Track 1.45.
Try to catch the first answer for the first question.
Charlotte.
When people find out I'm a twin, they generally ask the same questions. What's it like? Can you read each other's thoughts? Can people tell you apart? Do you do everything together? It's true that I often know what Megan is thinking or feeling, but that's because we grew up together and we're very close. We're no different from ordinary sisters. But if you look at photos of us when we were younger, even I can't say which one is me. We used to look absolutely identical. And Mum says we didn't used to talk much when we were playing together. We seemed to know what each other was thinking. I guess as we grew up, we wanted to create our own unique identities.
So, what happened? What were the twins like when they were children?
They were very similar.
Okay, they were very similar. And what happened? Also, something else happened. Let me write over here. They were very similar. What happened when they were playing?
They didn't talk?
They didn't talk, exactly. They didn't talk because they knew what the other one was thinking. So they didn't talk. No necesitaban hablar cuando estaban jugando porque ya sabían lo que pensaba la otra gemela, ¿no? So they didn't used to talk when they were playing. Let's continue and let's catch the next answer. What changed in their relationship when they were teenagers? Listen, guys.
I remember at school, Megan used to dress as differently from me as she could. I went through a phase of wearing lots of black and looking quite messy. So, of course, Megan started wearing flowery dresses. We used to have a lot of arguments as teenagers, but now we're really good friends. We usually speak on the phone 2 or 3 times a day, and we get together as often as we can. So.
Okay, so what changed in their relationship when they were teenagers?
We usually speak on the phone 2 or 3.
What do you think it changed when they were teenagers?
They adopt different personalities.
Okay. Or they built different personalities. Or what else did they do? there was something else they used different. What else was different, guys? What happened with, they talk about some colors. What happened with the colors? Someone used more dark and the other one.
Tenían diferentes gustos.
Different personalities, tastes, and they try to use different clothes, right? They try to use as different clothes as they can. So people cannot confuse them. Trataban de tener apariencia y personalidad y ropa diferente, totalmente diferente. What about now? Did you catch the answer, or we can just listen to the last few seconds, okay? Catch the last answer. So I'm going to ask to one of you randomly the answer.
Quite messy. So, of course, Megan started wearing flowery dresses. We used to have a lot of arguments as teenagers, but now we're really good friends. We usually speak on the phone 2 or 3 times a day, and we get together as often as we can. So, what's it like to have a twin? It's great. You have a best friend for life.
So, what's the answer for the last one? What's their relationship like now?
They are good friends.
They are good friends, exactly. They say we get together anytime we can, right? Nos encontramos o nos reunimos cada vez que podemos. So their relationship now is good. They are good friends. So now we're going to listen to the other twin talking about the same topics. Okay, childhood, teenager ages, and how is their relationship now. So you're going to listen to Megan, and you're going to help me be answering these 3 questions. What kind of sister was Charlotte? What changed in their relationship when they were teenagers? In what ways they are similar now? So listen to the next part of the record, guys. Vamos a tratar de encontrar la respuesta de la número 1.
Megan.
Charlotte and I had a wonderful childhood. We did everything together. I had my best friend with me 24/7 and we used to be very close. She had a brilliant imagination and used to invent wonderful stories. Of course, we played the usual twin jokes. At school, we used to swap clothes and confuse the teachers. I'm not sure they even noticed some of the time. We looked so similar that even our parents used to mix us up. We didn't used to argue much, but in our teenage years...
So what kind of sister was Charlotte? How was she? How was Charlotte when she was a kid?
Best friend?
Yeah, she was Megan's best friend, but something else she told about Charlotte.
She had a great imagination.
Exactly. Thank you, ladies. So she had a brilliant imagination. Imagination, yes. She was very creative, right? She was telling all these wonderful stories. So she was very creative, had a brilliant imagination. Let's continue with number 2. What changed in their relationship when they were teenagers? Let's listen.
We started to grow apart. We were trying to find our own identity, I think, and we each made a different group of friends. Later on, we went to universities in different towns. But it turned out that you can never escape being a twin. After our first year away, we hadn't seen each other for 6 months. The day we went home, we saw that we'd both cut all our hair off.
So, did you catch what changed when they were teenagers?
But it turned out that you can never...
¿Qué pasó cuando eran adolescentes? What did they do?
They made different groups.
They made different groups. Because they wanted to build their personalities, right? They want to differentiate from each other. So they want to find their own identity. They wanted to find their own identity. So let's listen what happens now. In which or in what ways are they similar now? ¿En qué se parecen ahora? Vamos a escuchar.
Escape being a twin. After our first year away, we hadn't seen each other for 6 months. The day we went home, we saw that we'd both cut all our hair off. These days, I think we have quite different personalities. Charlotte is very kind and caring, but often forgets things and gets lost. I'm a bit more confident and organised. But we still have lots in common. We both love beach holidays, playing football, and we both complain about our hair.
Okay, guys, what are their similarities now? ¿En qué se parecen?
They playing football.
They like to play the same sport. What else?
Both love beach holidays.
Both like beach holidays. Excellent. What happened with their hair?
They complain.
They complain about their hair. So they like beach holidays and they complain about their hair. And look at this, something interesting that happened is that even though they haven't seen each other for a while, when they got in touch, when they got together, they saw that both had cut their hairs. So that's something that can happen with twins because they have, as I told you before, this strong bond between each other, right? Como tienen ese lazo tan fuerte entre los dos, generalmente puede suceder lo que les pasó a Megan y a Charlotte. Que no se pueden ver por mucho tiempo, sí, pero que se reúnen y tienen algo igual, las dos sin haberse dicho o comunicado o haberlo planeado, ¿no? En este caso, las dos se habían cortado el cabello. Sin haberlo planeado, sin haberse conversado, but both did the same. Las dos hicieron exactamente lo mismo. So this can happen with twins. What about the kids who are born not in number of 2 babies, but they are 3 babies? What happened with them? How do you know, or how do you say trillizos in English? Do you know how to say that? Es más improbable, pero existen, ¿no? So, how do you say trillizos en inglés? Any idea? This is not from your book. But in any case, if you heard the word triplets, it's going to be about trillizos, okay? Triplets. So now you know about the twins, que serían los gemelos, y también ya saben cómo decir trillizos, los triplets. So something else that we are going to cover today, it's going to be some multi-word verbs. Okay, guys? Here you have some sentences. We have some sentences from 1 to 9, and we have some words in bold. Most of the words you know the meaning, some others you don't know so much, and you will guess according to the sentence while you are reading. Sí, algunos de estos verbos los conocemos, otros no tanto, pero son un poco más fáciles de reconocer cuando ustedes o de darle el sentido cuando están leyendo. La oración. These multi-word verbs are known also as phrasal verbs, okay? So it's the same. Multi-word verbs or phrasal verbs. They both mean the same. These multi-word refer to some verbs that are constructed by two words, two or more words, okay? So here we have, for example, grew up. Grew up. We have two words to form this verb. Tenemos dos palabritas para formar este verbo. Do you know what's the meaning of grow up?
Creció.
Creció, ¿no? En este caso está en pasado. Creció. As we grew up, we created our own identities. Así, mientras íbamos creciendo o mientras crecíamos, nosotros creamos nuestras propias identidades. As we grew up. So, then we have get together. Do you know what's the meaning of this one? Get together. Okay, I couldn't hear you guys. What's the meaning of get together?
Como pasar juntas.
Exacto, reunirse, pasar junto con alguien más. Sí, get together. Reunirse, estar con alguien más, ¿no? What about the next one? We have mix up. As you can see, pay attention to all or how are these verbs located. Okay, pay a lot of attention with that. For example, here we have mix us up. And the phrasal verb here is mix up. So we look so similar. Our parents used to mix us up. ¿Qué significará mix us up? Nos veíamos tan iguales que nuestros papás solían
Confundirlas.
confundir, ¿no es cierto? Mix up quiere decir o significa confundir. So, mix us up. Here we have another phrasal verb. And we have grow apart in the next sentence. We didn't used to argue much, but in our teenage years, we started to grow apart.
Crecer separados.
Crecer separados.
Sí, exactamente. Es como crecer separados. They start to grow apart. What about the next one? Look at this. Here we have the phrasal verb, cut off. Cut off. In the context or the sentences, we saw that we both cut all of our hair off. Cut off. What do you think it is? Vimos que las dos No sabíamos. El cabello, ¿qué será?
Pasar el rato con...
Cortar el cabello.
Exacto, cortar el cabello. Pasar el rato sería o estar con alguien, pasar con alguien sería get together, reunirse con alguien. Pero cut off se refiere a cortar, ¿sí? En este caso, cortar el cabello. They cut off their hair. Hang out with, hang out with. Ahora sí es.
Pasar el rato con.
Pasar el rato, salir con, ¿no es cierto? Hang out with. What about ring me up? Nos dice aquí. My parents ring me up every Sunday night for a chat. What do you think is ring? Exactly. Sí, mi papá, o en este caso es nuestros padres, nos llamaban, right? Ring me up every Sunday night for a chat. Nos llamaban todos los domingos por la noche para conversar, to chat, for a chat. What about this one? Brought me up.
Me crió.
Me trajeron.
Sería como que, en este caso tenemos my grandmother brought me up, so I'm very close to her.
Mi abuelita me crió.
Exacto, me crió, ¿no es cierto? Pasó mucho tiempo, me crié con mi abuelita, así que soy muy apegada a ella, ¿no? So, brought up sería criado con alguien, ¿no? Criarse con alguien. What about take after? I think I mainly take after my dad. This take after, it's a synonym of take care. So what do you think is the meaning? ¿Cuál será el significado entonces?
Cuidar.
Cuidar, velar por alguien, ¿sí?
Cuidar.
De alguien. I think I mainly take after my dad. We look similar and we're both good at science. Well, would be take after as a cuidar o velar por alguien, and we also can use take after to say cuando se parecen a alguien, también vamos a ocupar este take after. I think I mainly take after my dad. Creo que me parezco más, en este caso a mi papá, ¿no? I take after my dad. Me parezco más o me asemejo más o tengo un parecido más a mi papá. So, pay attention to these words because we're going to need them later and you're going to help me later with some rules of these words. And also, you will have to help me matching with the phrases we have below. Okay, so watch carefully to the phrases we have below. Vamos a ver las frases que tenemos en la parte de abajo porque vamos a tener que unir. So, for example, we have, you're going to help me matching with the meanings, ¿no? Vamos a unir con los significados. Ustedes ya me dieron la traducción en español y ahora vamos a unir con los significados en inglés. So, which one do you think is letter A? To be similar to an older member of the family.
Number 9.
Take after, ¿no? Decíamos que take after significa parecerse. So, to be similar to another member of the family. Thank you. What about letter B, to meet? When you have organized it before.
Number 2.
Okay. What do you think? Number 2? Get together or maybe hang out with?
Number 6.
Okay, we have 2 ideas. Number 2 or number 6? Which one do you think? Or what would be the difference? ¿Cuál será la diferencia entre get together y hang out?
Get together es cuando pueden. En hang out with es planeado.
What do you think? Miren lo que tenemos aquí. We usually speak on the phone 2 or 3 times a day. And we get together as often as we can. ¿No? Hablamos por teléfono de 2 a 3 veces al día y nos reunimos tanto como podemos.
7C, algo así.
We wanted to hang out with each other more. Queremos salir la una con la otra más. So, what's the difference? What do you think? Aquí tenemos letter B, to meet, when we organize it before. Encontrarse con alguien cuando ya ha sido organizado con anterioridad. ¿Qué creen? ¿Será get together or hang out?
Get together.
Get together, right? Get together. Reunirse. Reunirse va a ser generalmente con anticipación. Hang out, podemos salir con alguien en cualquier momento, ¿no? Puede ser con alguien les diga ahorita, do you want to go for a coffee? ¿Quieres ir a un café? Vamos, ¿no? You hang out with someone. But get together, sometimes you need to ask that person in advance. A veces se necesita como coordinar más con la otra persona cuando quieren salir o reunirse. Qué sé yo, get together with your school classmates. Sí, si quieren reunirse con sus compañeros de la escuelita, los del jardín de infantes. To get together, you need to plan it before, right? Necesitan planificar o organizar con anticipación. So, get together will mean to meet when you have organized it before. Let's continue with the next one. To make a phone call to someone.
Number 7.
Number 7, yes, ring someone up, right? So this would be letter C. Thank you. What about the next one? To gradually have less close relationship. To
Grow apart.
Grow apart, yes. Gradually have a less close relationship. So it would be letter B, grow apart. Yes, thank you. Let's move to the next one. To think one person or one thing is another person or another thing. What do you think is the phrasal verb for this letter E?
Number 3.
Exactly. When we get confused, right? We tend to mix up things. Tendemos a confundir las cosas. So mix up. Yes, letter F. To remove or to make shorter using scissors or a knife.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Thank you, ladies. When you are cutting off something, right? So it would be letter F. What about the next one? To spend time with someone. What do you think? Grow up, brought up, hang out?
Hang out with.
Hang out with, yes. So to spend time, we would use letter G, thank you. And what about the next one? To gradually become an adult. Convertirse poco a poco en adulto, ¿qué creen?
A?
Letter A, grow up, right? Crecer, grow up. And the last one we have, look after a child until he or she is an adult.
Number 8.
Number 8. Criar, decíamos que era este verbo, right? Brought up. Criar. Mi abuelita me crió, ¿no es cierto? En este caso, en bla, 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 bla. So, yes. Thank you, guys. Don't forget about these words. And look carefully to those, how are those verbs written there? Okay. So you're going to see some rules right here. Let me make a little bit bigger so you can appreciate it better. Okay, look at this. Here we have some of the phrasal verbs we were talking or we were discussing previously. We have take apart, grow apart, cut off, and cut it off. So can you help me complete in the rules? We have here 3 rules. 3 rules. Tenemos aquí 3 reglas. Some multi-word verbs have no object. Algunos de estos verbos frasales no tienen objeto. Por ejemplo, ¿cuál?
Grow apart.
Grow apart, right? Yo empecé a crecer aparte, no a crecer solo. Grow apart. No hay nada después de este verbo. No tiene ningún objeto, ningún complemento. Grow apart has no object. What about the next one? Some multiverbs are separable. Algunos son separables.
Cut off.
Cut off. Cut off, right? Cut off. Y también teníamos otro verbo por allá mientras hacíamos las oraciones, ¿no? Hay algunos verbos que podemos separar y otros que no se pueden separar cuando hablamos de verbos frasales. ¿Sí? In this case, we have cut off. When the object is a pronoun, it must go between the verb, right? Esto es una regla y algo muy importante. Cuando el objeto que tenemos en la oración, ¿sí? Es un pronombre, ya puede ser you, he, she, it, etcétera, etcétera. Cuando nos referimos a un pronombre, look at this. This pronoun must go in the middle. Si le vamos a meter en el medio de este phrasal verb a ese pronoun. That's why we have here cut it off. ¿Sí? Va en el medio. And what about the next example? We have some verbs are not separable. When we use the pronoun with this, it goes after the particle. So, which is the phrasal verb in this case? ¿Cuál sería el verbo frasal de la frase número 3?
Take after.
Take after, parecerse, ¿no? Take after. Some phrasal verbs you cannot split them, ¿sí? No se los puede separar algunos. Hay algunos phrasal verbs que van a ir siempre juntos, no pueden separarse. Y el objeto iría después del verbo. Sí, no podemos meterle en el medio ni nada porque no se puede separar, ¿no? For example, we have take after. Can you think about another examples of maybe phrasal verbs that you cannot separate? ¿Qué verbos frasales han escuchado que no pueden separarse? Can you think about some of them?
Turn down.
Turn down, okay. Turn down, si queremos referirnos a bajar el volumen, sí se puede separar. Podríamos decir turn it down, ¿sí? Iría en el grupo de los que sí se pueden separar. Les voy a poner por aquí, turn down. Porque podríamos decir turn it down, ¿sí? Turn it down.
Y si es para referirse a rechazar algo. Turn.
No, también se puede separar. Turn this down, yes. Sí se puede separar. Hay una otra. Tell me.
Feel like.
Feel like, ese no se puede separar. Yes, thank you. I feel like going out to watch some movies, or I don't feel like eating this today. Yes. Feel like is a good example of non-separable or a phrasal verb. Yes, feel like. Remember also that these phrasal verbs, todos los verbos frasales o word verbs que ustedes encuentren van a ser la mezcla o la unión de un verbo y una preposición que ustedes ya se les hace un poco más conocidas, ¿no? Como por ejemplo up, down, on, off, in, about. Esas generalmente van a ser las palabras que van a ir unidas a nuestros verbos. Hay algo que generalmente a ustedes les dicen cuando están en clases, ¿no? Cuando ustedes estaban en el salón de clases en la universidad. Podríamos utilizar dos phrasal verbs que no se pueden separar cuando nos referimos a la silla. ¿Sí? ¿Qué es lo que generalmente ustedes hacían cuando llegaban al salón de clases con referencia a la silla?
Sit down.
Sit down. Lo contrario de sit down.
Stand up.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Both are phrasal verbs. Los dos son verbos frasales. El uno nos sirve para decir o referirnos a sentarnos y el otro para levantarse, ¿no? El opuesto. Los dos son verbos frasales que no pueden separarse. ¿Sí? Please stand up. Or please can you sit down. ¿Sí? No pueden separarse en esos casos. Pero sí tenemos algunos otros phrasal verbs que se pueden separar, ¿no? Decíamos aquí turn down, turn on. Cuando quieren ustedes referirse a aprender algo, ¿no? Turn on the computer, or you can say turn the computer on. Puede separarse. And you're going to find a bunch of phrasal verbs, guys. Pueden encontrarse con un montón de phrasal verbs. For example, you saw some examples with the verb look. Sí, con el verbo look ustedes aprendieron algunos otros significados, ¿no? ¿Qué otros significados teníamos con look? Teníamos look up, look after, look for, ¿sí? Look forward. Tienen un montón de posibilidades o de phrasal verbs que se pueden formar con el verbo look. Y así también existen con muchos otros verbos. En lo que ustedes deben tener cuidado es en si son separables, si pueden separarse esos phrasal verbs o no. Sí, generalmente cuando involucran a un sujeto o alguna cosa, algún objeto en realidad, pueden separarse. Por ejemplo, cut something off, cortar algo, ¿no? Cortar algo o prender algo o, por ejemplo, take something apart, ¿sí? Llevar algo or throw away. Throw something away. Botamos algo afuera, ¿no? Sí, cada vez que ustedes necesiten incluir un objeto dentro de la oración, es posible que puedan ocupar un phrasal verb that can be split, un verbo frasal que pueda separarse. Aquí tenemos un par de casos, pero estos phrasal verbs están relacionados con nuestro tema, ¿no? Que es relationships, and in this case, we were talking a little bit about family. So here we have some of the rules. Some phrasal verbs or word verbs can be separated and some others can't or cannot be separated. So be careful with that. Mucho cuidado con los phrasal verbs que se pueden separar y con los que no se pueden separar. So this is something very important in verbs, what you need to consider with verbs, algo importante a considerar con los verbos. And don't forget about the meaning of these words. We're going to remember them later. Espero que hayan anotado el significado de esos phrasal verbs, porque ya los van a ver y ya vamos a utilizarles despuesito. So, there's something else we need to talk today, guys. And it's about the habits. Vamos a hablar también de los hábitos. We tend to have some past habits and some new or present habits, okay? And when we're talking about habits, you're going to use two words. Vamos a utilizar dos palabras para referirnos a los hábitos. ¿Sí? Tenemos hábitos que realizamos o acciones que realizamos en el pasado y acciones que realizamos en el presente. ¿Sí? So let me make a new page and we start watching for the difference. So we have past habits and we have also some present habits. Okay, guys, so when you want to talk about something you did in the past or some habits you had in the past, you're going to use this expression or this verb, used to. Do you know what's the meaning of used to?
Solía.
Solía, exacto. Thank you, solía. Yo solía hacer esto, él solía cantar en las mañanas, etcétera, etcétera. Okay, so used to means in Spanish solía. What does it mean? Be very careful with this verb, guys. Este verbo used to, para referirse a solía o a los hábitos que teníamos en el pasado, quiere decir que ustedes van a ocuparlo cuando ustedes realizaban una acción antes, pero en el momento presente ya no la realizan. ¿Sí? Es decir, que la hacía en el pasado, pero ya no la hago más. So, for example, maybe we can say, I used to play with dolls when I was a kid. Right? I used to play with dolls when I was a kid. Solía jugar con muñecas cuando era niña, ¿no? Ahora ya no juego con muñecas. So, it's something that I don't do anymore. Sí, algo que ya no hago ahora. What happened with the subject he, she, or it? Vamos a ocupar exactamente el mismo verbo used to. She used to play the piano. Let's say. She used to play the piano at school. Ella solía tocar el piano en la escuela. Si ustedes escuchan o ven ese used to, significa que cuando estaba en la escuela ella tocaba el piano, pero seguramente ahora que ya es grande ya no se acuerda o no sabe cómo tocar el piano. ¿Sí? Entonces, past habits or used to, it's going to be used when you want to talk about something you did but you don't do it anymore, ¿ok? Para algo que hacíamos pero que ya no lo hacemos más en el momento actual. ¿Qué pasa cuando ustedes quieren hablar de los present habits or something you do actually? You're going to use this word over here. Usually, or you can also use normally. Okay, you can use both. In this case, or in the book, we're going to focus just in the use of usually. So usually it's going to help us to give this sense of a present habit, or that the other person knows that it's something that we continue doing. Sí, es algo que nosotros continuamos haciendo, algo que hacemos en el presente. Una actividad que repetimos en el momento presente. For example, I will give you just one example, then you're going to tell me some other examples, okay? So let me start with the first one. I usually work okay. So here I have an habit or something that I repeat continuously. And I have here the example. I usually work from Tuesday to Sunday. Sí, aquí tenemos un ejemplo. Yo usualmente trabajo de martes a sábado. Here's an example of something I usually do. What about you guys? Can you give me an example using usually? ¿Qué otro ejemplo me podrían dar con usually? Some actions that you do or present habits you have. ¿Qué hábitos mantienen ustedes? Give me an example, guys.
I usually play soccer every weekend.
I usually play soccer every weekend. Así sabemos que Brandon usualmente juega fútbol todas las semanas. Usually play soccer, every weekend. What else? What else? Give me or help me with another example.
I usually eat breakfast every morning.
Yes, she usually breakfast every morning. Yes. Todas las mañanas ella usualmente, normalmente, generalmente tiene su desayuno. Thank you. Let's make another one. Raúl, can you help me with an example, please, with usually?
He usually
He usually, ¿cómo se llama? Ciclear.
Ciclear.
Ciclear. Ajá.
Cycle.
Es cycle every day.
Thank you. Let's continue with Anderson. Can you give me another example?
I usually swim in the school.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I usually run in the morning.
Okay, in the morning, thank you. So I usually run in the morning. Thank you. So here you are telling me some examples of activities you normally or you usually do, right? These activities are performed in the present. Son actividades o cualquier hábito que ustedes mantengan en la actualidad. ¿Qué pasa con el used to? Algo que hacíamos antes y ya no lo hacemos más. Can you give me another example, please, with used to? This time, please. Jason, can you help me with an example with used to, please?
Yes, I used to play volleyball in the high school.
So I assume that you no longer play volleyball, right? Eso quiere decir que ya no juega más voleibol, Jason. Ya no va a tener más brazos morados. Kevin, can you help me please with another example with used to?
I used to drink coffee every morning.
Okay, he used to drink coffee. So you know now the difference between both, right? It's not so difficult. No está tan complicado, no es tan difícil, no hay a dónde perderse con el uso de usually y the used to. Sí, mucho ojo, cuando ustedes quieren decir que algo o algo que no solían hacer cuando eran niños, sí, es importante también, les voy a poner justo por aquí abajo, cómo hacemos o cómo construimos la forma negativa. Si ustedes quieren decir yo no solía, ¿sí? Don't forget you can use the auxiliary didn't. I didn't used to. Sí, esta sería la forma negativa. I didn't used to, qué sé yo, no solía jugar fútbol, pero ahora ya lo hago. Sí, tiene esa sensación, algo que ustedes antes no solían hacer y que por el contrario ahora ya lo hacen, ¿no? Tiene un sentido diferente. For example, something you didn't used to, algo que no solían hacer antes y ustedes ahora ya lo hacen. Can you give me an example? Santiago, can you help me with an example with didn't used to? Sorry, here I have two Santiagos. Santiago Cedeño, can you help me with an example, please? Using this time, didn't used to. Tienes el micrófono encendido, Santi, pero no te escucho. Can you write Can you write your example on the chat better? ¿Puedes escribir tu ejemplo en el chat, please? Porque sigue encendido tu micrófono y no logro escucharte. Ayúdame con tu ejemplo en el chat de Zoom, please. And I'm going to listen to another example. Can you help me with another example we didn't use to, please, Paola Valdivieso? Can you help me with an example, please?
I didn't use to visit my nephew every weekend.
Exactly. I didn't use to visit my nephew every weekend. Pero eso significa que ahora sí le visitas todas las semanas, ¿no? I did used to visit my nephew every weekend. Thank you. Let's continue with another example. Can you help me, please, Vane?
I didn't use to make exercise.
Used to Thank you. Entonces, si antes no hacías ejercicio, seguramente hoy ya lo haces. I didn't used to play soccer, but now I do every weekend. Perfect, Santi. Thank you. So, thank you, guys. Now you know the difference between this used to, didn't used to, y usually. Sí, no se olviden cuando ocupamos cada uno de estos. You're going to make an exercise about this. So, let's see. I'm going to share with you the screen so you can watch what is going to be the exercise you're going to perform. Okay, so give me a second. Here it is. Okay. Okay, guys, here you have what you have to do today. Today, you're going to complete a small worksheet about the use of these two words that we just seen that are used to and usually. Okay, you're going to complete some exercises about used to or didn't used to and usually. So you will be describing these past habits and present habit situations, okay? So once you open this link that I'm going to send you right now to your chat, you can start completing this exercise. What are is the exercise about? You're going to see right now. I will change the screen so you can see what I'm seeing also. Here you have your classwork number 9. This time you're going to choose the right option, okay? You have 6 sentences right here and you have 3 different options. So choose the one you think is the best, okay? Choose the one you think is the best or fits the best in this sentence. So you have 3 options in each sentence. Try to use the one you think is the correct one, okay? So in the first case, we don't have any problem. Let's continue with the next part. Here you have a paragraph, like a text. Yes, tenemos aquí un texto. It's a little bit big, sí, un poquito grande el texto. And what you're going to do, guys, is you will have to drag the right option and drop it into the right place, okay? So, for example, let's say that in the second sentence, let's imagine that the right option is this one, okay? So you're going to drag the option and put it on the right place. Okay, so you have 11 options here. You can drag them and decide where they fit the best according to the sentence. Okay, so read careful and try to make this sentence have sense. Okay, traten de darle sentido a este texto, a este párrafo, poniendo o colocando las respuestas en el lugar correcto. ¿Sí? En este caso, en el segundo ejercicio, solo tenemos que arrastrar la opción correcta a la línea que corresponda. It's not so difficult. So it's very short, the work you have for today. And I'm going to share with you the screen. Let me ask some of you if you got it, what you have to do. Aldrich, what do we have to do? ¿Qué debemos hacer?
Responde las preguntas.
You have to solve, right? You have to solve these questions, complete these questions. You're going to work, of course, individually because it's a classwork. Sí, el classwork lo trabajamos de forma individual. And for this exercise, you're going to have 15 minutes to complete and to upload the evidence, ¿sí? 15 minutos para completar y para también enviar o subir su evidencia al portafolio estudiantil. Okay, don't forget you need to send the answers to the teacher and you need to upload the picture of your grade. Si necesitamos enviar la imagen como evidencia con su nota, no se olviden de enviar las respuestas del profesor. Sí, ya les envío el mail y todo para que puedan tener todo lo que ustedes necesitan. So let me keep on sharing the screen and I will send you the link again in the email so you can send the answers. Okay, so give me a second and I find the chat here. A ver, here it is. So on your WhatsApp chat, you also have the link of this classwork and you have the email so you can send the answers, okay? So remember guys, you have 15 minutes for this activity and your 15 minutes start now. You're going to see what is the next activity going to be about, okay? So let me just change the screens and there we go. What are we going to do now, guys? Pay attention. Here you have some points you need to think about. You will have some minutes to prepare this speaking part. What are you going to do? Individually, you're going to think about the next points, okay? We're going to talk about a tradition in our families. Something we do maybe once a year, twice a year, or every month, I don't know. Think about the tradition you do in your family. To make it a little bit easier for you to prepare, you're going to think about these questions, okay? Here we have some questions. For example, what's the tradition? Is it maybe the birthday of your grandparents, maybe? Or is it, I don't know, maybe it can be Easter celebration, or maybe Christmas, or maybe New Year's Eve. Think about the tradition you get together with your family, okay? And how often does it happen? Maybe is it once a year, twice a year, as I was telling you? Maybe it happens every week, or every weekend. It depends of each family. Which family members are involved? You know that families used to or tend to be sometimes big and in some other cases not so big. So think about the members of your family that are involved in this celebration. So for example, I'm going to write my own answers so you can have an idea, okay? So what's the tradition? I would say visit to my grandfather. How often does it happen? Well, it happens every Sunday. So I'm having my notes over here, okay? Every Sunday. When or when does it happen? Well, it happens in my grandpa's house. See? Okay, let's imagine. And which family members are involved? Try to think about with whom do you share this celebration, okay? So in my case, let's say it's my husband, mother, siblings, these family members are involved in this grandpa's visit situation, okay? And how did the tradition start? ¿Cuándo empezaron a reunirse? ¿Cuándo empezó esta tradición? In this case, let's say it's been always since I can remember. Okay, don't forget that you always need to write with a capital letter if you are referring to the subject I. Sí, no se olviden nunca que el I va siempre con mayúsculas. Was there anything you used to do which you don't do now? ¿Sí? Algo que ustedes solían hacer dentro de esta tradición y que ya no lo hacen más. For example, in my case, let me write you my answer. To go this is going to be easy, guys. Esta parte de sus apuntes va a ser fácil porque hay muchas cosas que antes solíamos hacer y que ahora con la pandemia ya no podemos hacer, ¿sí? For example, we used to go to the square to watch people play volleyball. Okay, this is in my case. You also have to answer if you like this tradition or no, your family tradition, yes or no. I can say yes. And the last question we have is, do you think the tradition will carry on in the future? Do you think it's going to happen in the future? Yes, no, and why? In my case, maybe it will depend. I don't know if this tradition is going to last after my grandfather passed away, okay? So maybe it can continue or not. So you're going to make something similar. You're going to have your notes about the tradition because later you're going to share the tradition with us, okay? Luego van a a compartir su family tradition con nosotros. So for this activity, guys, you're going to have 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes to complete or to make some notes about your family tradition, okay? How much time do we have for this activity then? Who hasn't talked? Juanito, how much time do we have for this activity?
6 minutes.
From 6 to 7 minutes, okay? Good. What do you have to do this time, Monica? What do we have to do, Moni? ¿Qué debemos hacer?
We are going to talk about a traditional in the family.
You're going to talk about the tradition in your family. And you're going to make some notes like these ones over here, okay? So let's start doing this, guys. Let's start thinking about the answers. You're going to do this individually. And for this activity, as I told you, you have 6 minutes, okay? So 6 to 7 minutes. And your time starts now, guys. Les voy a enviar las preguntas del grupo de WhatsApp ahorita para que puedan hacer sus notitas o puedan escribir sobre su family tradition, okay? So let me share the view. There you go. You got them, right? Ya debió haberles llegado. So think about your answers, guys. Vayan pensando sus respuestas. We have 6 to 7 minutes. Okay, guys. So once that you have your answers, una vez que ya pensaron en las respuestas de estas preguntas, you're going to form a kind of a story. So you're going to tell a tradition that you have in your families. For example, I'm going to use the notes I made and you can see, and I'm going to tell you about my family tradition, okay? So my family and we used to go and visit my grandfather every Sunday. And we go to visit him in his house in Atuntaki. I usually go with my husband, with my mother, also with my siblings and one of my aunts there. We have this tradition since always. I mean, since I can remember, we always go to my grandparents' house every single Sunday. And something that we used to do is that we used to go to the square to watch some people playing volleyball. But now with this COVID situation, we can't do it anymore. So this is a tradition that I enjoy a lot. I love to visit my grandpa every Sunday. And I don't know if we can keep with this tradition after my grandpa passed away. So We try to visit him a lot because he is 97 years old. So we used to go there every Saturday, every Sunday and visit him. Okay, so this is a short example of how to use this information and to talk about a tradition in our family. So you heard my tradition, you heard my family tradition, and now it's your turn to talk, guys. Ahora les toca hablar a ustedes. You're going to work in groups, okay? So you will have some groups and you are going to talk in your groups. You're going to share with your classmates the traditions you have in your families, okay? So I'm going to jump from group to group to listen, and I will try to listen to all your participations, okay? So for this activity, you will have 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes, and I want everybody to talk, okay? 10 minutos para que ustedes puedan compartir las family traditions de cada uno en sus grupos. It's supposed that you have it already, ¿no? Se supone que ya tienen ustedes escrito lo que van a decir de su family tradition. So now it's just time to talk. Ahora es solo momento de hablar. Can you tell me, please, what do we have to do? Angie, ¿qué tenemos que hacer? What do we have to do?
¿Lo puedo decir en español?
Okay.
Compartir lo que nuestras notas en el grupo en 10 minutes.
Share the family tradition. Thank you. Asu, how much time do you have? ¿Cuánto tiempo tienen para esta actividad? How much time do you have?
I believe that 10 minutes.
10 minutes, exactly, 10 minutes. 10 minutotes para escuchar la tradición de la familia de sus amigos y también que ustedes puedan compartir su family tradition con sus compañeros, ¿ok? I will be changing, as you know, from group to group so I can listen to everybody. Let's start, guys. So you can join to your groups. You can start joining to your groups. Go ahead, enter to the groups. Please enter to the groups. Thank you. Enter to your groups, guys. Thank you. Carlita, Christian, Juanito, enter to your groups. Okay. Wendy. Anderson, Carlitos, Moni, please enter to the groups. Jason, Paul, Erika, enter to the groups.
Teacher, buenos días.
Tell me.
Teacher, lo que pasa es que tuve un problema con el internet y no se me conectaba, entonces vi que he puesto una actividad en la plataforma, pero ya se ha caducado. No sé si me puede ayudar, por favor.
¿Completaste la actividad ya?
Sí, o sea, ya le mandé al correo, solo me faltó subir la evidencia.
Ahorita te amplío para que puedas subir hasta las 10.
Ya, teacher, gracias.
Enter to your groups anyway. Okay. I will jump from one group to the other.
because my aunt and my aunts and my uncles don't be near of us for the situation, for the pandemic, and for all the things. I think I like this tradition. It's very a happy moment in my family. Always going to be like that. I thought in the future I will carry this tradition with me in my family. I thought it's going to be the better. Is very nice when you carry a good tradition, a very expressive tradition in Christmas is very sensible in my house.
Continue for long because my cousin are already getting married and are going to live for a week. Siguiente.
The tradition is to travel to Baños de Agua Santa. It happens every year. It happens every vacation in the province of Tungurahua. My mother, father, siblings, and I are in Boyville. The start design my father and mother went on vacation. Uh, Play with my friends and the soccer in the stadium. I love the tradition. I never tired of visiting that place. And I believe that the tradition will continue because I will continue traveling there.
My family tradition is celebrates occasion social. I visit my parents, usually on weekends, Saturday or Sunday. This happened in mother house in González Suárez. With my boyfriend, my daughters, my mother, and my father. And these signs
How did tradition start?
Always since and can remember, maybe since 2024.
Okay. Was there anything you used to do which you don't know?
I used to dancing in the party. No, I usually dancing in the Guadalupe's Virgin party.
Okay. Next question. Do you like the tradition?
Yes, I love the tradition Guadalupe's Virgin party.
Yeah. And finally, do you think the tradition will carry on in the future?
Maybe because the family.
Uh, Hi, teacher. Well, tell me, Paola, what about your sorry, I don't remember. Used to your
Okay.
tradition, please.
Okay. The tradition in my family is visit my sister once a month at my sister's house in Quito. We always get together, my dad, my mom, my sister, her husband, my nephews, my brother, his wife. This tradition is
But now, due to the pandemic, I cannot do it. I love these things. I share much more time with my family. This tradition continues because the family continues to grow and the tradition continues. And you?
The tradition is the celebrate Mother Day. It's happened every year. We do in Andrade Marine at my parents' house. They are involved my date, my sister and me. It starts since my dad prepared dinner for me month for
What happened with you guys? Did you end sharing your traditions?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so I arrived late. So sorry. Let me see. Let me see another group.
Teacher, we have already finished.
Yes, I know. I know that you have already finished. You are a very fast group. I know that. And let me move to the last group then. Thank you. You have also finished, right?
Yes, teacher, ya terminamos.
Yes, so I'm going to hear you in 1 minute in the main group so everybody can share their experiences. Thank you. Okay, everybody. I think that everyone has come back to the main session. And I was listening to some very interesting traditions, some interesting family traditions. Some of you get together once a year, maybe New Year's Eve. Some others, I heard something interesting. They get together when they are in occasions such as the Mother's Day. Okay, and some others were talking about Christmas traditions in their families. So yes, these special occasions, there are some special occasions when people used to get together, right? They get together and join and enjoy and have some nice moments together. So I'm going to listen to some of you to your traditions and can you please, Marlon, can you help me with your family tradition? Can you share your family tradition with us?
Okay, teacher. In my family have a tradition that is get together to celebrate Christmas and the end of the year. ¿Sigo?
Yes. Yes.
It happens once a year in the month of December. Normally we meet at my grandfather's house. The members involved are my mother, my brothers, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and some friends. The tradition starts from 6 years last. And yes, I like the tradition because our family are together and have a lot of fun. And I think that this tradition will continue for many years in my family.
Thank you, Marlon. So it's a Christmas and New Year's Eve tradition. Thank you. Jason, can you help me with your family tradition, please? Hello, Jason, are you there? So let's listen to Wendy. Wendy, can you help me with your family tradition, please?
Yes.
this is not an only tradition of my family, but it's more important for us. Every Christmas we make our own Christmas covers, fundas de Navidad, no sé si está bien, to distribute in the family between my parents and my siblings. Before we used to make more of this to share with my uncles too, but now we are short of money to buy more candies. The traditions start before I born. My mother's family used to do it already. And I really love this tradition because it's a funny and union moment. And I don't think that my siblings carry on with the tradition, but for my own, I plan career of practice because I love it.
Okay, so Wendy is going to keep with the tradition afterwards. Thank you. Can you help me with your family tradition, please? Let's see. Daniel, can you help me with your family tradition, please?
Morning, teacher, of course. Well, my family tradition always is just like the other families. I thought is the Christmas dinner and plus with all the family, my siblings, my nephews, my cousins. Well, this year was maybe different, I thought, because now all the people came to my house for all the pandemics and that things. That was awful, that was terrible. Inclusive was more family. You know what I mean? Is more like a familiar with my fathers and my brothers. It was more confident, I thought. Tradition started when I was a child, I thought. When I born, this tradition always be there. I thought my father always told us we have to do the dinner and help each other for do it, help your mom and that things. And it is a very, very a happy moment in my family. It's very relaxing, and we can forget for the problems for 2 or 3 hours. I thought and pass very well with the family. And in the future, I'm going to share this with my sons. I suppose if I have, I suppose I'm going to share this tradition. Like all the years, we have to be together, all the family, and share all with and share all the sentimental things. Share all the problems. We can fix the problems in that because that date we can talk about anything, and it's more, I don't know, it's more like you can talk with your family about all the problems you have in that date.
Have the Christmas spirit, so it's easier to
Yeah.
do things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
you, teacher.
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, so most of the people tend to be kinder when Christmas comes, right? People used to have the Christmas spirit, so they act with a more peaceful, I could say, character, or maybe they try to don't get so angry and stuff and just try to enjoy for Christmas. And let's listen to the last student. Can you help me with your family tradition, please, Janet Sita? What's your family tradition?
Okay, teacher. No sé si se me escucha porque está lloviendo fuertísimo.
No, yes, I can hear you.
The family tradition is celebrates occasion social, for example, birthday. We visit my parents. We usually on weekends, Saturday or Sunday. This happened Mother House in González Suárez. with my boyfriends, my daughter, my sister, my mother, and my father. These signs in visit to leave another house. We use it to meet more often. I like meet with my parents. We meet depends the social occasion. So birthday.
Yes, for example, that's a good one. Some people get together with their families in social occasions, for example, in birthdays, or to celebrate birthdays of special members of the family. These members of the family sometimes are our grandparents, maybe parents, or maybe in some families, I have seen that they get together and they celebrate the birthdays of every single member of the family who has uh, uh, been born in, for example, in January. You celebrate all your aunts and cousins and anybody who is getting their birthday on January and so on. So that's a good example. Some people get together in special occasions such as birthdays or Christmas or Mother's Days and so on. Okay, so it was very nice to hear you all talking about these family traditions. I hope you can conserve them, preserve them, and keep on passing to the future generations, okay? So guys, for next class, we will be covering lessons C and D because it's going to be our last class before the midterm exam. We're very close to the midterm exam. And next class, we will be talking about lessons C and D. Don't forget to continue completing your Cambridge platform. No se olviden de completar la plataforma de Cambridge. Acuérdense que deben llenar la parte del online work extension, ¿sí? Las academic activities. No se olviden de ir completando esos puntos de la plataforma de Cambridge. Recuerden también que si tienen alguna duda o algo no quedó claro y ustedes desean, pueden asistir a las clases de tutoría de cualquiera de los niveles en cualquiera de los horarios. ¿Sí? Los teachers tienen la obligación de explicarles cualquier tema que ustedes pregunten, no solo los que hemos visto en clase. Cualquier duda que ustedes tengan, sea de pronunciación, de, qué sé yo, de algún tema de tiempos, vocabulario, lo que ustedes tengan duda, pueden preguntar en los horarios de tutorías. Sí, en cualquiera de los que se ajuste mejor a su horario. So that would be it for today, guys. Eso sería todo por hoy. Please be very, very warm. Take a jacket or something warm with you. Abríguense mucho. Take a very hot cup of coffee and enjoy the rest of the day, guys. Sí, tomen un café bien calientito.
Teacher,
Marjorie, tell me.
tenga la bondad. Lo que pasa es que como está lloviendo fuerte, yo no avancé a enviar la evidencia porque estoy con las nomás. Pero le envié el classwork a su correo, pero no avancé a subir a la plataforma.
Ok. Está hasta las 10 para que puedan subir la actividad. No sé si todavía te sale, Marjorie.
No, teacher, ya no me sale.
Te habilito por 10 minutos más.
Tenga la bondad, teacher. Muchas gracias.
Don't worry. I know that with the rain, some internet connection used to be unstable and you have some problems with the internet. So don't worry about that. Any other question, guys, you may have? ¿Alguna otra duda o pregunta?
Teacher, yo
Claro, dime, Vivi.
tengo una actividad de 0, pero si la subí.
Estás Vivi.
Quería saber por qué o qué hicimos.
Do you have the name of the activity? Let me check.
Ya
Al número 6, ¿no? Ya te reviso. Ya te reviso. Tal vez a mí no me llegó al mail la actividad, por eso es. Pero ya.
Gracias.
Un momento. Don't worry. Anybody else? Do you have any other questions? Marjorie me dijo que necesitaba subir. Give me a second and I will upload you this sentence. Yes, you're right, Vivi. Tienes razón, Vivi. No, tal vez se me fue mal por ahí. Just give me a second. Ya te corrijo en este momento te corrijo lo de la nota. Anybody else have another question, guys? Maybe about the platform or anything else? Oh, ya está corregido, Vivi, debe haberte ya salido. Y para Marjorie, que me pedía que le aplace, también en este momento ya les aplazo. Van a tener hasta las 10:15 para subir la evidencia. That's it, ya está hecho, está corregido. Los que no alcanzaron a subir evidencia pueden seguir subiendo. And anybody else, do you have any other question, guys? ¿Alguna otra duda o pregunta? No? Remember that if you don't have any question, we will be seeing again this Thursday, 7 a.m. Si nos volveríamos a ver el jueves a las 7 de la mañana, yo 10 minutos antes les voy a confirmar si es que cuál sería el link de ingreso, porque tenemos un problema con el servidor de la universidad y no nos deja entrar desde la cuenta de Zoom de la universidad, sino que los profesores estamos intentando solucionar con nuestras cuentas personales. So that would be it, guys, for today. Get warm and take care a lot, and we see you next class. Okay, guys? Have a nice day.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Take care.